of both teams on the sideline, and they'll meet in the center of the field for tonight's coin toss. Tonight's officials, the referee is John Reardon, the umpire Butch Muntz, the linesman Michael Murphy, the line judge David Webster, and the back judge is Daryl Medico.
Hold that, please.
The Lancers won the toss and deferred to Goffstown. Goffstown will be receiving the ball first. The Lancers will be defending the northern goal. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of tonight's national anthem by the world-renowned Londonderry Lancer Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Serge Bolio.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome here to Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. The Goffstown Grizzlies taking on the Londonderry Lancers. Both teams coming off wins. Londonderry in a big showdown of unbeatens last week. Beat down the defending Division I champion Bedford Bulldogs by a score of 35-0. Goffstown, Steve, in many ways, despite being 5-1, considered the underdog here against the 6-0 Lancers, a young squad led by longtime head coach. They're fearless for sure tonight, and that may help them against a perhaps superior opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Goffstown has played two different games, depending on the game you look back at. They've played very, very well. They're a young team. They're learning. Outstanding coaches tonight. This is going to be a great test and opportunity for Goffstown as the kickoff goes here. So
this one is going to be reversed.
He's got a hole.
To the near side and down the near sidelines across the 40 goes Michael Levesque. And he's finally taken down at about his own 45-yard line. So a little trickery on the return. That's Coach Justin Huff's style. Special teams making a big play to begin the game.
Yeah, Londonderry's got to be careful in this game. They're not going to face a team that's afraid by any stretch, and they're going to face a good game plan. Londonderry's got to recognize that early. Let's see how they respond to a 35-0 win. Make sure they're not catching up in a lull here. I doubt very much that'll happen with Coach Lozon on the sidelines. Looking for a good game, Nick.
The defense for Londonderry opening up in a 4-3. The shotgun snap is taken by the quarterback, Jared Hanault. And on a dive give, not much there as the Lancers are ready up front. Just a 2-yard gain. And second down and 8 on the way. The carry by Zach Picard, the junior. Well, both teams tonight will no huddle. That's to be expected. And Goffstown here on their first possession. Going to spread the field wide here.
A little changing up.
Hanault at the line of scrimmage will drop back. Still a 4-man front for Londonderry on 2nd and 8. Fakes the handoff. Hanault will keep it himself and go nowhere.
Yeah, the offensive line struggling with this D-line of Londonderry early on, Nick. We'll see if they're able to make, but nice reading by the Goffstown. They follow the ball, and reading by Londonderry, excuse me, on that. And they faked. He fooled nobody. And got to do a better job of concealing the fake there. And
tackle there by Jeff Wiedenfeld, the outside linebacker. Great two-way player. Of course, he's the tailback on offense as well. So 3rd down and 9 after a loss of a yard. Hanault gets the play from Coach Huff and stands back at his own 41-yard line in the 3-receiver set. Low snap, pass over the middle is caught, but shy of the first down marker goes down the receiver. That's Jonathan Lopez, one of the many talented sophomores here on the varsity level. He picks up about 7, but ends up a good 2.5 yards short.
Nice wrap by the was that Wiedenfeld? I couldn't tell who that was that made the tackle, but great coverage. And going to be an interesting call here. Looks like they're going to punt. Probably a good move, try to pin Londonderry deep, but they're going to need to cover this great special teams play by Londonderry so far.
Picard is the punter
of the year.
And he's back at his own 40-yard line. The return man is KO. This is a line drive kick. KO going to backpedal to the 10, makes the catch up to the 15, to his right, across the 20. Knocked down at about the 22-yard line.
Cover.
And that is where Londonderry will begin. This is a high-powered offensive course led by Jake McKecker, and the celebrated senior who, well, we spoke off air, Steve, with some of his coaches. He said this is what he's all about, and that is the full commitment to the squad. A little more comfortable now as a senior, and he has impressed us for sure through the first 6 weeks of 2019.
Had a little early opportunity to talk to one of the coaches upstairs and kind of filled us in, and I don't think there was any surprise either one of us, Nick, at what he said about him. He's a cool kid. Very mission-oriented, looking at the sidelines for direction and follows through.
Come out in a 3-receiver set with a wing back, and the tail is Wiedenfeld. It's a sweep to Wiedenfeld, near side. He's got a block downfield. He's up to the 30, where he's finally tackled from behind at about the 34-yard line. Stopped there by Goffstown's Jeremy Hanault.
Yeah, nice blocking scheme there. Look at Wiedenfeld. What a veteran runner. Waits for his blocks to follow through. Turns upfield. Good ball protection. He does everything right.
It's a gain of about 12 and a first down run. In the pistol, man in motion now. That is Setzelis, and they'll give it to the wide receiver. End around, and he's got some speed. He's got a first down across the 45. He'll fight for a couple more up to the 47. A lot of weapons, Steve, and a lot of guys worthy of touching the ball. And say Coach Lozon spreading it around early.
Yeah, no argument about that, but the real difference in the game right now is the trenches right now. Londonderry's dominating both O and D line, and that's made the difference. These runners aren't even getting touched, so they get 9 yards down the field.
Coach Lozon on the near sideline in the famous white visor. Watching with his arms crossed here on 1st and 10 as his team approaches midfield. It's a dive for Wiedenfeld. His second carry will go across midfield down to the Grizzly 49-yard line. Just a 2-yard gain. Waiting for him there in the trench was Big Jet Milani, the junior.
Yeah, it looks like you can tell Goffstown, the Grizzlies are a little young out there, but they are not giving in by any stretch. But they're losing the push and they're losing the.
Meanwhile, a whistle and a flag on the play.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it looks like encroachment.
Encroachment.
as they blow it dead. So a 5-yard penalty, the first of the game, goes against Goffstown with about 3.5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Clock resumes after the free 5. It's 2nd down and 4 for McEachern. Man in motion, snap taken. McEachern on an option pitch. This one put on the ground, recovered. As a fortunate bounce there for the Lancers, right back to the ball carrier, Eric Raza.
That's a big recovery, Nick. Goffstown's going to need those sort of breaks to come their way from what I can see out there right now. But nice cover on that. McEachern did a great job waiting till the last minute, pitched it out. Looks like it was a little high underneath his helmet on the pitch. And I believe that was the reason for the losing control of the ball.
So it was a first down after the officials eyeballed it and said go ahead and move the sticks. Back to either side of McEachern. They go back to Wiedenfeld. He's got a hole over right guard, and he zips his way inside the 40 down to about the 36-yard line. Gang tackled there.
Yeah, but that
linebacker Matt Dalton in
that's
on the
exactly what Londonderry wants, though, is get these 1st and 5s, 1st and 6s set up, Jimmy, with all Coach Lozon with all sorts of options on 2nd and 3rd down here. Don't be surprised if we look at a pass deep on a play action.
Yeah, 2nd and medium here, 2nd down and 6. McEachern yet to throw. Looks like he will here. It's over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trying to hook up with KO down the seam. Good coverage there by the safety, Uziel Umpoyo. Another one of these sophomores for Goffstown, and now a 3rd down and 6 on the way. Grizzlies trying to get this offense off the field.
It's a big stop for the Grizzlies right here. McEachern was a little, sailed that ball just a little bit. I don't know if it was really wind being that short. Just looked like he's a little pumped up, but he did have the first down if he was able to connect there. But it is 3rd down, and this is a big play here for Goffstown. I think Goffstown especially, Nick, because they got to be able to get some momentum here, keep the crowd quiet, and maybe score first. So important.
Opening drive for Londonderry. They've already picked up a couple of first downs. This drive began back at their own 22. Movement up front. The officials blow the whistle. Looks like a timeout has been called by Coach Lozon.
Yeah, he's not too happy. A little frustrated out there. I think they called a play in, and the backfield wasn't set in the play that was called. And smartly, knowing the gravity of the situation as he always does, calls a timeout, but didn't really want to waste that one, Nick. You could tell as he walked out in the field. The body language said it all.
Yeah, there is Coach Lozon talking to his guys. You know, we'd had Coach on FNL Rewind on Monday. Of course, you can listen to that show every Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern. Check out the archives on the YouTube channel, FNL NH Media on YouTube. But you know, Coach Lozon, he's got plenty of support along that sideline. Gave a lot of credit to his assistant coach. He's really a classy move in terms of promoting your guys amongst the media. But no question, he's about as hands-on, Steve, as it gets.
Oh, there's no question. Players coach, coaches coach.
First down turns into 3rd and 6 after the first timeout was used. They go back to a play earlier that worked. It's Setzelis, a stiff arm, back to the line of scrimmage, stays inbounds. No, he stepped out.
Yeah, I think
just in front of Coach Huft over there in the Goffstown sideline. So just a gain of 1, and now 4th and 5 on the way from no man's land, so to speak, the opponent 35-yard line.
Don't be too surprised if Coach Lozon goes for it.
No gain of the play brings up.
You got to give Goffstown a lot of credit there covering that play. They closed down the outside. They were getting blown out before. They're rolling that linebacker outside, and it's cutting down that off tackle, Nick. And I think Coach Huft is more prone to allowing the runs up the middle and cutting down that off tackle outside. That's where they've been ripping the big yardage.
4th and 5. Shotgun snap. Going to throw quickly. Near side, Setzelis. It's complete. He's got a first down. He's going to bury his man, break a tackle, tiptoe towards the end zone, and he's in for a touchdown.
Wow.
What a play by Alex Setzelis.
Great stiff arm, Nick. Great
A
stiff arm.
routine pitch and catch into a highlight as he runs it 30 yards after the grab for the first score of the game, and Londonderry is on the board 6-0.
Yeah, the defensive back, Nick, kind of waited to make the tackle rather than going in for it. He's got to go in low, scissor his legs on that play. We'll wait for the kick here.
Extra point try. Good snap, good hold. This one is up.
The extra point attempt by Fawcett
and good.
is good.
So 7-0 Londonderry as they chew a little clock. They go 78 yards in about 9 plays unofficially to take the lead. And, well, it looked impressive there, Steve. Obviously the key was that 4th down conversion and a 35-yard touchdown pass from McKecker to Setzelis.
Coach Lozon realizes how, he's got the opportunity. He's got his offensive line working well. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball. McKecker threw it a little bit low, but he just took it down. He just took the ball down, Nick. I don't know if you saw the stiff arm. It was pretty impressive.
It was.
And but that was all about laying off a little too. You're going to play off on a guy like him. He's going to get the best of you. It looked like a little bit of a mismatch there on the run back, and took it to pay dirt. Did a great job. Stayed in bounds. Shows you the athleticism of this young man as well.
Yep.
Nice call by Coach Lozon there to go for it, I think. How much really did he have to gain? Another 15 to 20 yards on a punt probably? Go for it.
Yep. 3 touches on the drive for Setzelis, including the score. Squib kick. This one to one of the up men. It gets away from him on the near side. That ball up for grabs at the 23, but it is recovered by Goffstown on a good heads-up play by Jeff Heeger, the man who came up with the football. So Goffstown's second drive begins about 5 minutes into this first quarter with the Lancers out in front 7-0.
Yeah, so far, battle of the trenches here, Nick. Just total domination by Goffstown, both sides of the ball. I don't think there's any question about that.
For Londonderry.
No doubt about it. These Goffstown guys are young, but the kind of coaching that they're getting, he's going to keep them up and recognize the situation he's in and hopefully get an opportunity. Londonderry make a mistake and capitalize on it, get them super motivated, and that's really what Coach Huff's team's got to try to do here.
End off inside. There is a hole, but it closes quickly. As on his second carry, the tailback, Zach Picard, able to grind out about 3 yards to pick up a 2nd down and 7. Tackle out of the secondary there by Londonderry's Lucas Seaman.
Continually, this is the 3rd time we've seen him. Just so impressed, Nick, with the form tackling of Londonderry. They keep their hips square. They're down low. They're in an athletic position, and they follow through on the hit and the wrap and the drive. And it's just textbook tackling. It's also the safe way to tackle to avoid concussions and to avoid injury. These guys are well trained.
The shotgun snap on 2nd down goes back near side. His man is Jonathan Lopez. Lopez with a dance and a somersault up across the 30. Sets up 3rd down and short, about less than a yard, as he needed to get to the 32, and they've got it marked at the 31 against Seaman in there on the stop. So Goffstown, who went 3 and out on their first series, trying to extend the drive and pick up their first down of the night as we hit the midway point here of the first quarter.
That's a nice play there, Nick. Got a little bit of yardage. I think they're pretty close here. Big play, though, for Goffstown, for the Grizzlies.
Londonderry showing blitz here on 3rd down and 1. The give to Picard. He finds some room right side, and he muscles his way up to the 35 for a 1st down. He was tripped up there by Will Reyes, but not after Goffstown moves the sticks.
Incrementally, Goffstown, that's a nice little piece so far. Got to move the sticks. Got to keep Londonderry's offense off the field. No doubt about that. They have any chance to stay in this game. Good work by Goffstown. Fighting hard for that yardage, but I like the call there, Nick. Had a nice call. Had the tackle caved in and was able to get just enough yardage. Let's see what they do next year.
Picard been the go-to guy with 3 carries so far. He's now in a double slot to the left side and a 5-receiver set against a 4-man rush. Snap taken, waste time. Pass near side is complete. Again, that is Lopez, and Lopez able to snake his way over the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. Again, positive yardage on 1st down. In fact, it goes for 8 to set up 2nd down and 2, and that's again got Coach Lozon animated on the Londonderry side.
Yeah, well, he missed the tackle there, ran right by it, overplayed it, should have stayed square. He turned his hips to the side, Nick, and he let him go free, and he had him for about a 2-yard loss there behind the line of scrimmage. But nice job by Goffstown. That's what Coach Lawson's upset. But he wants good tackling.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Goffstown is in the no huddle, but taking it easy, so to speak, allowing their defense to rest as they use a lot of the play clock here.
That's a costly penalty right there.
Looked like a flinch up front from one of the Grizzly offensive linemen.
Yep.
If so, it'll be the second penalty against Goffstown. Their defense took one earlier. This comes with just over 4 minutes to go in this first quarter.
Called against the Grizzlies.
It is a false start.
Yeah, those are those costly penalties. They have to be mistake-free to stay in this. They're moving the sticks. They got 2nd and 2. They got 2 downs. Gives Coach Huff all kinds of options. Puts Londonderry a little bit on the defensive, and there you go.
Clock is resumed to tick. And again, Goffstown appears like they are in no huddle. Or no hurry, I should say. Despite the no huddle. Hanault on 2nd down and 7. A quick throw over the middle. And that one incomplete. Aaron Duval, the intended target, got both hands on it, but couldn't reel it in.
Hanault's pass is incomplete on the play intended.
Duval, of course, from a very athletic family. Brother was a star here a few years ago, and Duval unable to haul in his first target. And that sets up now 3rd down and 7. Grizzlies again looking for a 3rd down conversion. A 3-man rush, a quick throw. Picard the target out of the backfield, but that one overthrown and incomplete. As Hanault unable to find his man in the flat, and now it looks like it's punt time for Goffstown. Londonderry gets the stop they wanted. And now that juggernaut offense on the sideline, eager to get back on the field with a 7-0 lead.
It's all because of the penalty, Nick. Just takes all the opportunities away for Goffstown to chip away at that yardage and put them in a situation where they had too long to go. But this is important here to get a good kick and cover here for Goffstown and not give Londonderry excessive field position.
Picard going to handle the low snap. It's a soft punt, near side, takes a bounce inside the 35 and will come to a dead stop at about the 31-yard line. So no return, but still pretty good field position for Londonderry on drive number 2.
Yeah, pretty good, but Goffstown did a good job there. It's a nice punt. That's 2 good special teams and 2 good coverage. So obviously special teams are where Londonderry, given clearly the favorite here, could really break down Goffstown early here. But these 2 good special team kicks by Goffstown have certainly not making it easy for them. And it is good field position per se, but it could have been a lot better.
Londonderry's second drive begins with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Pitch, Wiedenfeld plants his foot, cups upfield. Stiff arm up to the 40, first down to the 45. Boy, Wiedenfeld tough to bring down, Steve. So low to the ground, carried about 3 Grizzlies with him there.
Well, they had him behind the line of scrimmage, and he overrun the tackle. You got to break down. That's what they call breaking down. You have to be in the athletic position to be able to even have a chance at knocking, to be able to tackle Wiedenfeld. He's so good at making you miss.
Box is wide open, 2 in the spread here. 4 receivers, 3 near side. Little loft and room here for Raza across the 40. Another big play into Goffstown territory. Tackled out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. A pickup there of about 31, but there's a flag on the play, a flag back at the Grizzly 47-yard line.
Well, we'll see what happens. That was a very, very well-designed play, Nick. Goffstown's playing very soft here with the corners, and it's really and Coach Lozon's exploiting it. They're going to have to be a little more aggressive than that because they're too far back, and there's nobody there to make the tackle. And what you're doing is you're allowing the offensive players of the offensive weapons of Londonderry to get a running start on you. They got to come up. You got to make some big plays here. They have to take a little bit of chance here and there, especially on plays like that.
Nonetheless, a hold downfield is going to back Londonderry up here.
Huge call.
First penalty against the Lancers.
I didn't see it. Did you? The hold?
It came somewhere after the catch in the area of the 45, maybe 47-yard line. So they'll back them up. Back to Londonderry's 44-yard line, we'll call it, the 1st and 11. McEachern puts KO in motion, takes the snap, hand off to KO. He's going to gallop, break a tackle in the hole, and feel his way up across the 45 to about the 47, getting 3 yards back to set up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, number 11 looks like Uzil Moyo. give that young man a credit. All I'm looking at here is sophomore
Right.
on this team, and give these young fellas a lot of credit. That's a nice stick, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Go after it, and that's good work.
2nd down and 8. McEachern again KO in motion. This time it's to Wiedenfeld. No, McEachern keeps it himself. Darts across midfield and has himself a 1st down.
Boy,
inside the 45 of Goffstown. That's what McEachern can do. So good with the play fake, with the run action, so to speak, and he's got some wheels of his own.
Fundamentals, intangibles, fundamentals. We talked to Coach Lozon on FNL Rewind on Monday. Please join us Monday at 5. Love to have you join us.
Good stuff. McEachern back to throw with a 7-0 lead. He's got Setzelis. Setzelis in the middle of the field against soft coverage, breaks a tackle, makes a man miss inside the 25, and he's down about the 21-yard line. Another big catch there for the senior Setzelis.
And you said it, Nick. Makes a miss. That stiff arm again. What does he do? He uses his body. He's in full control there. Use that extended arm to be able to hold him from tackle the knees. Just a terrific job. This kid is a nice receiver, I'll tell you. But he can do it all. He can run wide.
Yep. He's been excellent.
Executes well.
His teammate Cole Keegan, his fellow receiver, 3 touchdowns last week in the win over Bedford. Tonight, Setzelis off to that kind of pace. Speaking of pace, look at this.
Wow,
touchdown up the middle as Wiedenfeld leaves a trail of white in his wake. Able to carve out a running lane up the middle and skip his way into the end zone for another Londonderry touchdown, and that's what Jeff Wiedenfeld can do. He can make you miss. He can run you over. Either way, another 6 on the board for Londonderry and a chance for one more.
He just does a terrific job waiting for his block to develop, Nick, and just sidesteps defenders and accelerates right out of the sidestep. He's full bore. Very difficult to bring down. Nice forward lean when he runs. A lot of footwork on the ground. He's not flailing. Protects the ball extremely well. Just an all-around player.
Zach Fawcett's extra point is up and good, and Londonderry has scored 2 touchdowns on their first 2 possessions in this first quarter. And already Goffstown in a 2-score hole. This is not the start Coach Huft wanted.
No. But not surprising, Nick, with the way this Londonderry team is playing. They're just playing
machine-like.
It's just a cohesive unit. Everybody knows their job. Everybody knows exactly what to do. They know where to be on the field. And the support players really allow the skill players to get the job done. It's all working.
Fawcett getting set to kick. Goffstown in need of a response. This one, a squib, takes a high bounce. There's a whistle.
Yeah, I think it was offsides, Nick, on the kick.
And a late flag comes in.
They are in the game tonight.
By the side judge.
Yeah, they're in the game tonight.
Well, we've seen this all season long from Londonderry. I don't know if trickery is the right word, but certainly a unique approach to the kick game. They're not afraid of the squib. They're not afraid to send it into the first and second line, so to speak. So Fawcett will redo it. This one with a little more oomph to it. A bounce, going to get behind. Picked up back at the 10-yard line, trying to find some kind of room is Levesque. And he's finally brought down at about the 15-yard line. Made the best of a bad situation there after the ball skipped behind the initial player, Uzilia Mumpoyo. So Goffstown will have to deal with some tough starting field position at their own 15.
Yeah, wasn't much room there.
So Goffstown back on the field. First possession lasted 3 plays and then a punt, 3 and out. Picked up a couple of first downs on their second drive, but ultimately had to punt that one away as well. So back on is Hinault, the junior QB. Got Picard in the backfield with him. The give is to Picard, trying to swim his way up the middle. And not much there. Will Reyes again with his second tackle. The linebacker sniffed that one out. Still a gain of 2 for Goffstown. Make it 3. Set up second down and 7 as we head inside of 1 minute to go in this first quarter.
Must be a commercial break or something, Nick. I don't know. It's a long...
Well, Goffstown has been very casual in their approach between plays. They have not huddled, but they have not rushed either. They've used most of the play clock between snaps. In this situation, Nick, to be honest with you, I just don't even blame him for doing that. Run the time off the clock. I think Coach Huff knows. Now a whistle and a timeout here by Coach Huff. He'll stop the clock with 35 seconds. Didn't like something. We saw Coach Lozon burn one earlier. And now it's Coach Huff's turn to stop the clock. It comes with 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. And I know it's early, Steve, but it almost feels like a critical drive already for Goffstown here. They've got to at least, I would assume, move the football, chew up a little clock, and give that defense a little bit of rest and some more instruction on the sideline. You may not necessarily need points here, but you need some kind of a response, I think.
Yeah, I think Goffstown, the mistake they made on that penalty was just really costly because they had moved the sticks, I think, 2 first downs.
Yeah.
They were heading for a third first down, and then sure enough, they couldn't recover. That was real important. Then, of course, Londonderry comes back and scores. Now they're in a pretty deep deficit.
Little blitz on the near side. The pitch is to the far side. Running room for Picard. Lowers his shoulder over the 20. Brings a man with him up to the 23-yard line. Another positive gain. Very close to that first down marker, about a yard shy.
A ton of young players out there in the Grizzlies, but they're playing full bore. Goffstown's not going to have any problem, I don't think, as the years come. These kids aren't afraid, and a lot of good things going on behind the scenes. But when you're younger, in a way, it's tough.
Let's see. Goffstown does not look like they're going to snap it here, and
I don't think so.
That'll do it for the end of the first quarter. So 2 touchdowns on 2 possessions for the home team. Londonderry, one of 2 unbeatens in Division I, right on schedule, a 14-0 lead. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency. Locations in both Bedford and Goffstown. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. There's the Londonderry Band, one of the most celebrated school bands in the state. They've won competition after competition over the years, Steve, and that's one of the things I look forward to personally in coming to Londonderry is that band. It's college style. It really brings an extra element to the atmosphere.
And I got to tell you that the school as a whole, a lot of these young men and women are going off to colleges with scholarships.
In music, right?
In music. They are that well renowned, and they
played at a couple of presidential inaugurations, including Barack Obama back in 2009.
Been down to Disney multiple times, I believe.
Yep.
And just a lot of spirit, and it's just a great thing to see.
Second quarter. Team switch sides. Goffstown's going to run a quarterback option here on 3rd and 1, and it's a good call. Good spin move there by the junior as Jarrett Hanault able to rumble for about 10 yards to move the sticks there for Goffstown.
One of the things you look for in coaching is when they do a spin move like that, Nick, that they're protecting the ball. And he had it cradled very, very well, had full 5 points of pressure on it. You know, nothing wrong with a spin move, but you got to protect the ball.
Yep.
And he did just that. Nice work.
First carry for Hanault.
Had a nice hole there.
Completed a couple passes in that first quarter, and you're right, the room was there to run along the right side.
Nice blocking scheme.
Against a 3-man front. Londonderry spoke with us, some of the coaches on the defensive side, Steve, some of your guys, so to speak, before the game, the Clement. And he said that Londonderry would switch formations tonight, sometimes a 3-4, a 4-3, maybe a 4-4. We saw that look last week in the win over Bedford.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Goffstown on first down is going to pick up 5 up the middle with Picard once again.
I think the thing about Londonderry that's so impressive is, like we were talking about on Monday, that the switches they make, the adjustments they make on the fly.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait to talk to the kids. These adjustments are already talked about ahead of time, and that's why they can do it on the fly.
Second down and 5. Hinault again with the keeper, trying to find some room on the edge. Wiedenfeld meets him there and cuts him down after only a yard gain. Spotted at the 42, needs to get to the 46, so third down and 4 coming for Goffstown.
I don't think there's any doubt, Nick, that Wiedenfeld's heading to probably play some college football. I wouldn't even venture to say where they're going to put him to play. He can do so many different things. He's just multi-talented on the football field.
Yep, a natural-born player for sure. He was kind of thrust into the starting role as a sophomore, and
we saw
really
him.
Elevated his game as a junior last year, and on a mission his senior year. His group is unbeaten through 6 weeks. 3rd and 5. Goffstown trying to move the sticks, and they will on a pass up the seam. And a first down across midfield. First grab for the wide receiver. That is Peyton Strickland. Another one of these heralded sophomores. Good two-hand grab there.
Yeah, nice.
And a first down for Goffstown.
I don't know the quarterback's name. I wish I did. Do you have
Hinault?
Yep. I mean, that was just a great job in the pocket. Set his feet, nailed the hammer, and just fired it. And
he's looked good so far.
He looks real good.
2 receivers each way. They run Duval pre-snap. They give to Hinault, or rather Hinault keeps it. And again, spirals his way downfield to about the Londonderry 45-yard line before he was brought down by Lucas Seaman. Another 5-yard gain on the quarterback keeper. And now a second down and 5 is coming officially from the Lancer 44-yard line. Meanwhile, this drive has already taken over 3 minutes off this second quarter clock. Goffstown looking for points here, trailing at 14-0.
Hinault looking real good right now, Nick.
Yeah,
this
he's
is
in control of the offense as well, and gives the snap up front, takes the snap, pass near side is dropped incomplete.
Got to catch that.
In and out of the hands of Jonathan Lopez, who may have heard the footsteps, so to speak, there.
Yeah, got to catch that for the quarterback there. You got to help him move the team down the field. Hinault's looked good so far. What I also like is he had a nice head fake there. He was looking down the right side of the field and gave the opportunity to the receiver to get a little bit of open space as the corner didn't close.
2 receivers each side. Londonderry showing blitz. They'll rush 4. Pass outside, off target, and incomplete. A full extension effort by Will Sasso. Another sophomore, but he couldn't get a fingertip on it. It's incomplete.
Looks like he's going to go. Looks like going to go for it.
4th and 6 officially on the way from the Londonderry 44, but hang on, there is another flag and another hold against the defense.
Wow.
So an automatic first down.
I'm not sure, Nick. I'm not sure if the receiver that he threw it to was held on his way retreating back towards the ball. It seemed like he didn't really be able to get a good movement back towards the ball. I wonder if he was impaired. It's on the other side of the field, so it was hard to see in the lights here.
Well, that's what the side judge thought he saw anyway.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
It's going to work out for Goffstown.
Oh,
so the drive continues.
Is it ever?
As the ball now placed inside the 35 at the 34, a 10-yard penalty. So Hinault looking back over his right shoulder at Coach Huft. Ready to go with 2 wide receivers to each side, and now another flag here. It's going to fly this time from the near sideline.
Is that delay a game or is that motion?
It's a false start.
False start.
Against Goffstown, so they'll back it up 5. And now faced a 1st and 5. And well, Steve, we've seen a few pre-snap penalties here really hurt this Grizzly offense. This one going to cost them 5 as well.
Well, they're trying to get off the ball, but you got to wait for the ball to snap.
Again, 4 receiver set. Going to air it out deep down the near sideline. Incomplete. Well, had a man for just a moment. That was Strickland.
Looked like a pretty good pass there, Nick, to
May
me.
have mistimed the jump a little bit.
Mistimed the jump, I think, yeah.
A little early, maybe. Either way, Strickland unable to pull it in. They called his number a moment ago, and they went right back to the 6-foot sophomore, but unable to hook up there.
And again, Hinault does a great job of looking the other way down the other field, which kind of lulls the defensive back over here. to be looking at support, thinking he's going to pass it down the other field. Then all of a sudden his man got about 6 or 7 yards of space. He caught that. If he caught that, could have been all the way.
Yeah, Reyes the corner in on the coverage near side. Back to the ground on 2nd and 15, and Picard got to rip off a chunk here. Inside the 30, inside the 25 to the 24, and a first down. A 16-yard pickup for Picard. His longest run of the night.
No fear there running the ball.
Right.
What a nice job.
Shot out of a cannon.
And it's good for another.
What a nice job.
1st and 10.
Good job on the left side of the line, as well as Matthew Dalton, the left tackle, able to get a good seal. And Picard ran right off his backside. So 1st and 10. This Grizzly drive, Steve, began with less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. They've already used 4 minutes so far in the second quarter. Back to Picard, back up the middle. And Picard, after about 3 bruising yards, is brought down by 2 different Lancers. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Grizzlies doing a great job here. This is plays right into Coach Huff's game plan of eating a lot of time off this clock against a top-rated Londonderry team in the state right now. No argument there. And he knows he needs to drive to really keep the Londonderry's offense off the field. So nice work. Hanal's looking very good right now.
Yeah, win-win for Goffstown on this drive as the defense continues to rest. Hanal on the rollout. Going to pump, now going to tuck, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and hit along the sideline. Just nobody open downfield there, Steve, and Hanal ran out of time. It'll be 3rd and long.
But give Hanal all the credit in the world. There's a young quarterback, looks downfield, saw a quick release. The defensive back had full coverage at any time when a ball thrown down the field. Hanal smelled it, and he had the patience to hold the ball, Nick. And that's just so important in a quarterback of recognizing it's not good, don't throw it. Nice work.
Well, again, Goffstown going to chew up some clock here before the snap. Already 5 minutes gone in this second quarter, approaching the midway point.
3rd down and 7.
Londonderry will blitz. The snap is low. The throw is quick and incomplete. Trying to find Duval in the slot. The receiver wanted a flag. A little bit of contact there.
Yeah, there was a little contact. I don't know.
Setzelis, the safety, but not enough to warrant the whistle.
I don't think so.
So 4th and 7. And now what's the call here, Steve? Perhaps a field goal, maybe about a 40-yarder?
He must have a lot of faith in his kicker.
It's like a 39-yard attempt, maybe in the works here. John Flanagan, the junior, will be the holder. And the kicker is Kyle Pinard, who I believe is a lefty. Yep. Yeah. Snap is low. The hold is good, but it's blocked. Setzelis going to dribble it, pick it up, and he's off to the races. The Londonderry special teams is going to block a field goal and score a touchdown. It's touchdown number 2 tonight for Setzelis. And just like that, Londonderry will add 6 more.
Well, you got to take a look at the time, Nick, that it took to get that hold down, and I think that was the difference maker right there.
I think it was a snap.
It was a snap. Looked to me like the snap was a little bit to the odd side, the weak side of him. It was low.
It was a short snap, and Setzelis able to take advantage.
Yeah, and he did.
And he took it the entire way to the house to make it 20-0 Londonderry. Fawcett on for the extra point try. This snap is high, but a well-done job by McEachern on the hold, and Fawcett boots it right down the middle.
Well,
21-0 Lancers.
When it gets cold, Nick, these special teams, these special plays here get a little tougher to hold. The old pigskin gets a little slicker, a little harder. It's on a grass field, and I think this is kind of what I expected at this point in the game, Nick. Thought maybe Goffstown would be on the board. Goffstown's moving the ball, Nick. They just can't. As soon as they get to a point where they get about 3 first downs, and then Londonderry shuts it down.
Well, it's just a momentum killer, obviously, as Goffstown had chewed up over 5 minutes of clock. It moved the ball, picked up some key 3rd down conversions, and then we're in a position to add points. And just like that, really at the snap of a finger, at the drop of a hat, whatever you want to say, Londonderry makes it a 3-score advantage. 21-0 Lancers. And that's the thing, Steve. Offense, defense, and special teams.
3 phases. We always talk about it.
Londonderry has looked good in all 3 phases tonight. So Fawcett getting set to kick this left to right. And it's a dribbler down the middle. Gets by the up man, scooped up at the 25. That's Levesque again. And he'll be buried at about the 30. So Goffstown does secure the possession. And we'll begin things with decent starting field position.
Yeah, Goffstown's got to try to put together a drive here, and if they score, they can go in at at halftime 21-7. Not a bad half considering the the spread, so to speak, of the expected spread in the game. But they really got to work hard. Coach Huff's got to, I think, work with his QB within himself, what he can do. But, in all fairness to him, he's had some drop passes on some pretty well-thrown balls.
I think he's looked pretty good.
I think he's looked – oh, no, absolutely. I said that, but –
see what he does on first down. He'll keep it himself. He'll run. He'll throw on the move. It's complete to Strickland. And Strickland is knocked down up at the, 35-yard line, a pickup of 5. And solid production there on first down.
Not sure if Denald should have just turned and ran with that ball right there. There was some pretty tight coverage on there, but give Strickland credit pulling that ball down. That thing was fired, by the way.
Seaman again, who's starting to pile up a lot of tackles on the perimeter.
Yep.
At the cornerback spot. Officially a 4-yard gain, so 2nd and 6 as we move inside of 6 minutes, just past the midway point here, second period. 21-0 Lancers. They're in a 4-4. Again, they'll roll the quarterback out, complete to Strickland. Flag on the play. Strickland has a first down and more. Knocked out of bounds finally in Londonderry territory after cruising up the near sideline. But again, a flag is down back in the backfield.
Flag thrown on the play.
Yeah, this could be really costly for the Grizzlies. Yeah, the Grizzlies are backing up, so I think it is against them.
I think it was a hold on the pass.
No, false start.
Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure, yeah.
Not sure why they didn't blow that dead.
5-yard penalty.
I don't know.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty, so 2nd and 10, I think.
They're stringing together these nice plays, and the penalties are really starting to add up some serious yardage and negate a lot of positive yardage. And to be honest with you, Nick, I'm not sure those penalties really made any difference. They still would. They're just very unfortunate penalties,
Well, by my count, that's 5 in this first half.
I think you're right. Yeah,
4 against the offense. So officially a 2nd down and 11 from inside their own 30. 4 hands in the sand on the defensive line for the Lancers. Wing back to the left, 2 receivers left. Hinault again with a nice play fake. Going to dance his way across the 35. Ball comes loose at the 40. Londonderry says they have it, and they do.
And they do.
Coming out of the pile is Will Reyes and the Lancers.
He's hurt.
Able to force the turnover, and the junior quarterback Hinault is face down and injured.
Yeah, I would say that's why he may have jarred the ball. He's in some serious pain, Nick. Fortunately, he's moving his extremities, but he's in some serious pain. I don't know if this could be an arm situation, a shoulder separation the way he came down, kind of awkward. But the ball spilled out almost without any. He could have. I don't know. Now I'm looking at him. He could have fallen on the ball and been knocked out. Lost his breath,
Well, he's getting attention from the Londonderry training staff. Coach Lozon as well, looking on from the Londonderry sidelines, concerned. And now Coach Huff himself is also going to take a look. So the clock stopped with 5:16 to go in this first half. 21-0 Londonderry.
He fell on the ball, Nick, and lost his air. That's what happened right there. To come up that quickly, that's a great sign.
Yeah, good sign. He's up on his own and walking off the field under his own power.
Yeah, the old lungs take a shot, and they get shocked, and they takes a little while to get the air back in them and the diaphragm functioning, and they were right on it. The EMT was right on it, and I'm really glad to see that's what it was. Does look like his shoulder. I don't know, Nick.
It came down hard. It looked like on that left shoulder. And he's trying to stretch it out, it looks like. And
you don't think he had a little separation and they popped it back in? I didn't see any evidence of that.
It's tough to speculate. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can return tonight.
The way he was acting, it seemed like he lost his wind,
McEachern
Ball's on the
puts
42.
KO in motion here on 1st and 10. Will keep it himself. To the outside, tackle from behind after a 4-yard gain, and now a late flag will fly.
Yeah, they're going to get
Jeffrey Heeger with the tackle.
Flag thrown in the play.
I'll tell you who it is in a sec.
It's a hold on Londonderry.
Yeah, he went in and he gave a heck of.
Holding against the Lancers.
Who's 0, Nick, on Londonderry? He came in and he blocked.
It was KO number 8.
Was it KO? Yeah, he came in like a wild man and started off with a great block, but he got a hold of him and he pulled him down, and I think that's why he got called. And it was right at the point of attack where the ball was. So referee, I think, there made a pretty smart call.
Some of the storylines, Steve, we had kept an eye on was, would there be any hangover, so to speak, for this Londonderry squad after
Don't see it yet.
a win over the Battle of the Unbeatens last week? They beat 5-0 Bedford with ease on the road, 35-0. You know, Coach Lozon, he's just as fired up as ever.
He is.
Being pulled back by one of his assistants there, not happy with the call and still jarring with the official.
Yeah, I didn't see the hold there myself, Nick, to be honest with you. What I saw was a pretty good power block, and but the ref was right there, so.
1st down and 20 inside of 5 minutes. McEachern on the rollout, going to throw on the run. He's got a man complete.
So solid.
Tackled out of bounds is Matt Jones, his first grab. Jones is into Goffstown territory at the 47. Set up about a, 2nd and 14 here coming.
Terrific execution there. The blockers were out front, gave McEachern a great opportunity to roll out with a lot of open space. McEachern could have run the ball for just as much yardage, but he had an open man, so fired it.
Double wing here. 3 down linemen for Goffstown. KO in motion to the near side. Hard count. McEachern now will look back at Coach Lozon and send KO back to the far side slot. Goffstown will scramble on defense. Snap taking. Wiedenfeld near side. Trying to break a tackle. Slips away. He is still going inside the 40 down to about the 36. Another big pickup there to set up 3rd and manageable here. About a 3rd and 4 on the way. Another big gain for Wiedenfeld. It's looked good in this first half.
Forward
as
lead.
advertised.
The great Andre Guerin, running back for UNH, was a coach, and I used an assistant for him, and boy, he used to always talk about the forward lead, running the ball.
He got about another 2 on top of a solid run. Now McEachern with the pitch. Reyes far side looking for a block. That is Raza, not Reyes, rather. He's got the 1st down and then some. Tackled inbounds just shy of the 20-yard line. And another big Londonderry 3rd down conversion.
Well, I mean, all you got to do, Nick, is watch what's going on at the point of attack on the ball, and you'll just see the quality of the execution that's going on with every blocker in exactly the right position, down the field at the right time, walling off the defenders. It's just a terrific Jada Watt. Watch this game on film, please.
A lot of players are winning individual battles.
They really are.
Meanwhile, a little bit of movement, and it looks like the left tackle may have moved early for Londonderry. That's Hayden Fielder. Big 6'5" left tackle. And he knew he was guilty. He looked skyward immediately after that whistle blew. Both teams really, Steve, bitten by the penalty bug, so to speak, in this first half.
I don't know if it's the cold weather or what. We'll blame it on that for now. But
sure. 3.5 and counting until the break. Pitch near side. Wiedenfeld on 1st and 15. Looking for the corner. Down the near sideline to the 10 and pile driven at about the 5-yard line. Leaving defenders in his wake yet again, including Duval, the man who brought him down, a little shaken up. Another big run by the senior Wiedenfeld.
Yeah, delivering the hit rather than taking it, Nick, right there. Again, that forward lean I was talking about earlier when he runs. Feet, a lot of, quick-footedness. A lot of feet on the ground, creates him very buoyant.
It does not look fun to try and tackle him.
It really doesn't.
Some players you just
and it looks like a lot of fun to watch. I think he's having a lot of fun delivering the hits.
Against a 3-4 in the pistol. McEachern going to call his own number left side.
Nice
Won't get
job.
much.
Nice job, Goffstown, closing that hole.
Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. That's Matt Dalton, his 3rd tackle for the Grizz.
Yeah, nice job out there.
Dalton has certainly held his own tonight.
Yeah,
nonetheless, Londonderry still knocking on the door. It's 2nd and goal from the 4. We cross inside of 3 minutes here, 2nd quarter. Londonderry in no hurry. McEachern hands on his hips, looking back at Coach Lozon. Wiedenfeld is the tail. Right behind McEachern, who takes the snap. They give it on a dive, and that's a touchdown. Well, he drags Duval about 5 yards into the end zone. Lifts up his left arm in triumph. Another touchdown, number 2 for Wiedenfeld, number 4 for his team. It's 27-0.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, Nick. I mean, Goffstown's put together some first downs, but just not getting any production out of it.
Extra point try by Fawcett is good. It sneaks in inside the left upright. 28-0 Londonderry, and well, they've looked as good as perhaps we thought they would. 6-0, the consensus number 1 in really every media poll across the state. They emerged in what was likely the biggest game of the year last week, defeating defending Division I champion Bedford soundly 35-0. And well, no real problems here. The offense has delivered 3 touchdowns. The special teams has added 1 more. And you've got a 5-1 Goffstown team on the other sideline, Steve, that is now down by 4 scores as we approach halftime.
I know it's hard to say at 28-0, Nick, but Goffstown has some players here that are emerging that are very, very young that are doing a great job, but that just cumulatively, Nick, they just can't match up to this very, very deep and broad and tough, well-executing football team of Londonderry. They're just mowing down the iron of the league here every week.
Kickoff. Hard one down the middle. Fielded by Mumpoyo. Mumpoyo,
nice run.
Pretty good return up across the 30. Protects the football on his way to the ground with 2 arms at the 32-yard line.
Love to have penalty stats here on this game. There's got to be about a total of over 100 yards of penalties so far, wouldn't you say?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, 70 or 80 anyway.
Certainly close. Both teams, as we've pointed out, have come off a little sluggish. A lot of pre-snap penalties, a lot of holds.
Yep, no doubt. Not many bands run a quarter mile like Londonderry does.
New quarterback, by the way, Steve. It's Strickland, the former wideout.
Yeah.
And he'll go to the right side. The sophomore going to lose a couple, actually. Knocked down by KO, the linebacker. 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12.
That would lead me to believe that Bernal was injured in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Looks like a shoulder injury, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they brought him into the locker room or
I was looking for
still
him
over there on the
sideline.
sideline. I don't see him right now on the sideline. Perhaps Coach Huff sent him in early to get checked out indoors, but
looks like they're working on somebody in the bench over there, Nick, midfield.
That could be Hinault.
Could be Hinault in the back. We'll see the new quarterback. Let's see how we can do.
Strickland with Picard to his right in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 right against a 3-man front. Low snap, handoff near side. Picard across the line of scrimmage, makes the 35 before he's drilled down at about the 36, wrestled down by Setzelis, the safety. And still a pretty good run of 5. It'll set up 3rd down and medium.
Rugby rules will apply. He will get forward progress there, about 2.5 yards.
Yep. Timeout Lancers, that is their second
Coach
Lozon
taking an opportunity to stop the clock here, hoping his defense can force an upcoming punt. Timeout will kill the clock with 1:22 to go until the break. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you coming up at halftime. We'll take a look around the league. A lot of games in the NHIAA tonight. We'll preview tomorrow's Salem-Bedford big matchup down in Haverhill,
which was originally scheduled. That was what you originally called for the game.
Yep.
They switched it to Friday and staying in sync with the Friday Night Lights approach.
Yep.
Here we are.
Yep. We'll also break down the first half, preview the second here as well.
Yep.
Get you all that information. By the way, give us a follow on Twitter. Our handle, at FNLNH1. Again on Twitter, at FNLNH1. On Facebook, facebook.com/FNLNH. And now on YouTube as well, FNLNH Media. 3rd down, Strickland keeps it himself, trying to spin away from a tackle, but won't get much. about a yard here as he takes it across the 40 on the near side, and Londonderry's final timeout is called by Coach Lozon to stop the clock with 1:14 to go. Good wrap up there by Riley Bowles on the stop.
And if you missed the game live, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and all of that programming will be on archive, so you can watch it at your convenience anytime. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so you'll get actual notifications of when new material and content comes on, as well as FNL NH Rewind on Monday at 5. Nick and I will be going over the previous week, all the scores and stats, and any
not to mention the exclusive interviews as well. Coach Lozon has already joined us a couple of times. I'm sure we'll catch up with Coach Chuft sooner rather than later.
And the great Roger Brown joined us last Monday.
And we're probably due for a conversation with Tom King of the Nashua Telegraph.
Yeah, because the pool's closed, Nick.
That's right. And I hope so. You never know with Tom.
Yeah, I could have a heater. Who knows?
All
right, minute 14 here. 4th down and 1. Strickland is going to fumble the ball.
Wow.
It's picked up by Wiedenfeld. And Wiedenfeld is going to escort himself into the end zone. Touchdown.
Boy, he's racking up some points tonight, Nick.
That's his 3rd touchdown as he swims his way back upstream in jubilation.
So we're going to go.
It looked like, Steve, I don't know if that was a botched handoff between Strickland and Picard or what that was. Miscommunication for sure. The ball jars loose, and Wiedenfeld finds himself a gift, returns it 35 yards for another Lancer touchdown.
I could be wrong, but it looked like he thought his running back was going to take it, and he didn't, and the ball wound up in between them on the ground. Wiedenfeld right on it. Right up the gut and into the end zone.
The right-legged kicker, Fawcett, has been busy trying to go 5 for 5 with this kick here. That one is up and good. Sneaks in the right upright, 35-0 home team.
So we will be coming out in the second half, at least to open, Nick, unless the Grizzlies can score here quickly with a running time clock the second half.
Yeah, we saw that early in the third quarter in last week's game, when Londonderry, who had a 21-0 lead at halftime over Bedford, scored 2 very quick touchdowns in the opening minutes of the third quarter, and then the running clock kicked in, and it ended up being 35-0, and that is what we see here with 1:02 to go, 35-0.
Yeah, this is a little surprising, Nick. I didn't expect 35-0 half. I expected Londonderry to be in the lead. How could you not? But not quite this spread.
Let's take a look at what we've seen. We've seen a bunch of big plays, right?
Big plays.
Setzelis, a 35-yard throw and catch for a touchdown. Then we saw a blocked field goal that was returned the other way for a touchdown. And now a defensive score for Londonderry as well, coming on 4th and 1.
What does Wiedenfeld have?
He also has a long touchdown run.
18 points, right?
And he had about a 4-yard touchdown run just a few minutes ago. So he's got 3 touchdowns.
Right.
And his team has 5. Fawcett will send this one out of bounds. Not great execution there. It's what Londonderry has tried to do. Flag will fly here for illegal procedure.
So let's see what Goffstown can do. I mean, obviously they're missing their starting quarterback here. That's very common. You get your backup coming. You have some exchange problems.
Yeah.
On the spread offense.
How about the play call, though, to go for it on 4th and 1 in your own territory inside your own 40?
As it goes out of bounds.
I think with the time that was left on the clock, I think that Coach Huff's attitude was, I was trying to keep my offense on the field. And it was for a yard. It wasn't like it was 4th and 4.
Right.
Percentage there are pretty good, but, to execute on that. But the execution part of it was missing, and
then worst case
scenario happened. So,
all right, we've got another quarterback in here.
Yep.
This will be the third different signal caller. Seth Osborne, another sophomore, and he fumbles the snap. bailed out by his teammate Picard, who somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Looks like he grabbed a couple yards.
Yeah, he usually picked up 2 in the end. He broke a couple tackles before he was finally brought down by defensive lineman Cameron Bean.
Was Strickland injured? I don't see him here out. Normally he's a receiver, so
he may have been banged up on that previous fumble.
I wonder. So I mean, this is a situation here, Nick, that if you got 35-0 at half.
By the way,
sorry,
I'm trying to see if that's indeed number 5, Seth Osborne, the quarterback, or if that's an unidentified number 6. It was not anywhere on the roster. It's tough to read the number at this angle. It is number 6, but there's no name associated with it. Meanwhile, Picard takes on 4 Lancers up the middle. And again gets positive yardage, about a 4-yard pickup, helped up with some good sportsmanship by KO, one of his tacklers. And Steve, that's going to do it for the first half. Londonderry flexing their muscles in front of their home fans. They've got a 35-0 lead on the board. As Coach Lozon congratulates his guys, we see the band start to make their way onto the field. But boy, Coach Lozon still as engaged as anybody right now, taking much time as he can to teach these kids one-on-one. There you see him having a word with Will Reyes. And
one of the things you got to be careful of, Nick, is to get complacent on the on certain parts of the game. And during the game, when you're up like this, somewhere along the line, you're going to face an opponent that is going to capitalize on those kind of mistakes. And he recognizes that doesn't want him doesn't want his team to slip into and get sloppy. So he's right on it, and that's what you have to do.
This year's show is
35-0. Londonderry scored 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives of the first quarter. At themselves, a 14-0 lead at the break. Goffstown had their best drive put together to begin the second quarter, marched down the field, but Londonderry blocked a 39-yard field goal attempt and ran it back to the house. Alex Setzelis, his second touchdown, made it 21-0 about midway through the second quarter, and then the offense got back to work. Wiedenfeld scored his second touchdown from 4 yards out to make it 28-0, and then moments ago on a 4th and 1, Goffstown fumbles the football. Wiedenfeld able to return it 35 yards to make this 35-0 at the midway point.
Well, I'm kind of glad there's going to be a running clock in the second half, Nick, because you don't want it to get out of hand as far as the score is concerned. And it'd be one thing if Goffstown had a starting quarterback in the game, all of the cast. That's a good opportunity to get the field, but
it appears that their top 2 options at quarterback.
Yeah, so in that situation, probably really want to get off the field here and regroup for next week. But make no mistake, Goffstown is 5-1 because they deserve to be.
Yep.
But just Londonderry just continues to play the winning teams in the league, and they're just completely and totally dominating. So,
all right, we will take a look around the NHIAA in just a few moments. You are watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency. Back in a moment.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the field the Lancer Marching Band's featured twirler, Emily Cowett. The band will perform the 1970s rock hit, Vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your Londonderry Lancer Marching Band and twirler, Emily Cowett.
Exeter 24-0 over.
Start of the second half here in Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's all Lancers so far over the Goffstown Grizzlies as we get set for quarter number 3. Jeff Wiedenfeld, first name that comes to mind after reviewing that first half. 74 yards on the ground, 3 total touchdowns, including 1 on the defensive side. Alex Setzelis has looked good as well with a couple of scores, including 1 on special teams as he brought back a blocked field goal. Let's take a look quickly around the league. Some of the other big D1 games tonight. Exeter and Dover out in D1 East. No real surprise there, Steve. Blue Hawks had a 24-0 lead at the break. Derek Edmonston, 8 carries, 144 yards. 3 touchdowns, and now it's 31-0 as early in the third quarter, Jordan Cleach just broke one for the Blue Hawks. Exeter looking for their 6th win of the season. Merrimack looking to get above 500. They're at home tonight against Portsmouth, and they're doubling up the Clippers right now early in the third quarter, 42-21.
Clippers are struggling this year, right? They've always been a good program. Just seems so far, at least, to have an off year. Let's see if they can begin to put together maybe a win or two, some sort of a streak going. But Merrimack, if they're going to stay in the playoff hunt at all, they definitely have to come through. They got to win 2 or 3 more games in a row.
Well, they're on their way again tonight at the 42-21 lead. All right, Steve, any chance here for Goffstown? Down big, on the road, without presumably their top 2 quarterbacks available, both injured in that second quarter. What do you do if you're Coach Huft here? Your Grizz are about to kick away as well to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, I think what you do is you try to run, and which he's been doing. He's doing everything he can. The injury to his starting quarterback really sets Goffstown back, because pretty clear that the third quarterback and second quarterback now lost that too is not quite up to speed yet. But I thought Hall was doing a good job leading the football team. But looked to me like a shoulder injury. What does he have to do? I think you just got to get out of this game, welcome a running clock, quite frankly, and try to keep it in perspective and get his team ready for next week, and maybe put together a couple of plays, make some adjustments at halftime on some blocking schemes, because some of that's breaking down. I think a thing that's hurting them a little bit, they did begin to adjust on a little bit, was the defensive backs are just playing back too far, and they're allowing Londonderry's top skill players to get a running start, and just not happening. So as far as what he does, to be honest with you, Nick, I just think that Londonderry is just too strong. I think that probably the proper thing to do is midway through the third quarter, I would imagine that Coach Lozon will begin to put in some of his backup players and to save them, make sure to avoid injuries on a cold night. That's the last thing you want when you got a game well in hand, that you want them to be injured. So that's what I see so far. Hopefully get out without any more injuries, and as I look out, I don't see the quarterback, Nick, their starter, coming back out. I hope I'm wrong. And to lose Strickland as well is not a good situation either. So I think probably the running clock will be his friend in the second half.
Well, either way, it doesn't get much easier, Steve. They've got Salem next week.
Yeah.
In week number 8 before wrapping up the season. Goffstown will against Timberlane.
Yeah.
Of course, Salem, speaking of, they host Bedford tomorrow. That is a huge game.
That's just a huge game, Nick, for so many reasons. I mean, Londonderry's going to probably win tonight. Certainly looks that way. And I think their schedule gets a little... I don't know who's going to challenge Londonderry the rest of their record.
Well, you take a look at the contenders, and a lot of them have already faced Londonderry and lost.
That's it.
Pinkerton was a 16-point, or Salem lost by 16. I think Pinkerton lost by 18. Bedford obviously was shut out 35-0, and Goffstown.
I think they got
right
Memorial
and
Central, right? They have Memorial and Central. I mean, and you certainly got to give Londonderry the edge going in as a power poll ranked number 1 team. I don't think anybody's questioning that anymore, but I do think that this Bedford-Salem game is really an important game to watch because that's probably going to be potentially be a semifinal game if they can win. So,
well, again, the ACDC blasting.
They're rolling.
It gets Steve's blood pumping.
I need some blood pumping. I'm feeling the Florida weather.
It's very cold right now.
It is. I'll tell you, it's raw. I mean,
it's got to be what, about 40, 45
I don't know,
degrees?
but I've been in this jacket and setup here when it's been 25 degrees. It's just not cutting it tonight.
Right.
I thought Nikki, our camera lady, was going to get me a nice hot cocoa, but that never materialized.
Of course not.
Yeah.
The return. Set
Wow.
up near side, and there's plenty of room. A lane down the near sideline, and he's going to go. It's Eric Raza tiptoeing his way inside the pylon.
He went out of bounds. No, went out of bounds.
Well, the official said, yep, he stepped out about the 7-yard line.
Wow.
Tried to keep his balance, Steve, the last 10 or 15 yards, and I think his right foot may have touched down out of bounds at the 7, but either way, an electric return to set up Londonderry first and goal.
I hope we got that power drive block on video. That is something to see. I'm looking forward to going back on YouTube and looking at that one, Nick. That was one major league block delivered, which opened up an extra 20 foot, down somewhere about the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
And it was, a
couple blocks there were sprung, and
yeah, some motivated
Raza showing
football
the speed.
team.
He wasn't even touched, Steve, until he was inside the 20.
No, and I do think he went out of bounds. You could see. But
go
ahead. Sorry.
Well, we got a new quarterback. It looks like Dylan McEachern.
Yeah.
6-footer. Brother Jake, of course.
Yep.
Was under center a year ago, and he's got KO now in the pistol formation. The toss to KO. Left side, looks for a block, cuts it up at the 5. Going to power his way in for the touchdown.
Yeah, this is just.
Shook off Duval at the goal line,
unreal.
and it's now 41-0.
Yeah. Wow.
Scored on the play by number 8.
Well, and that's with the backups in. I mean, KO has touched the football and has played a little bit in the slot, but looks like Wiedenfeld may be done for the night. McEachern certainly.
Well, on a cold night like this, Nick, why would you put Wiedenfeld and the the starting host of characters out there on the field? It just doesn't make any sense. Get them off the field. Yep. And give some. You never know when you're going to have an injury, and some playing time for these guys at the varsity level is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, Dylan relieves Jake under center for Londonderry. It's the same result. Touchdown, Lancers.
All set up by that run back, though.
Yep. Special teams has been big tonight. As we talked about, Londonderry back in the second quarter blocked a 40-yard field goal attempt and ran it back the other way for a score. And now the defense on a 4th and 1 stop came up with a fumble and returned that to the house as well.
I'm a little confused, Nick. I understand the clock stops on an injury, but I thought it's supposed to run.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it is stopped. It is frozen with 2:38.
It's 42-0 in the third
10:38,
quarter.
excuse me.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. A little surprised on that. I didn't think a touchdown stopped it. I thought it was, an injury or.
I thought it was only an injury.
Only an injury. That was my understanding.
Set to kick off is number 15.
So a little confused on that
We'll
one.
see. We'll see what happens coming up. I'm surprised the officials aren't on it, but it may start perhaps on the upcoming drive. I'm not sure. Here's a squib. Going to take a bounce before it is finally picked up at about the 21-yard line. Coming to the near side and fighting up across the 25.
Nice job.
Yeah, that's again Poyo's touched it a few times tonight.
Fighting for a
In the
little
return
yardage.
game. Yep, he's up, to about the 27, 28-yard line. Hayden Austin on the stop.
Be interested to see if this clock stays running now.
And it is.
Yeah.
So the 35-point rule is in effect. Good atmosphere tonight, though, Steve. As usual,
Always is in Londonderry.
a good student presence. Obviously, the band is its own crew in itself, taking
young
up an
lady-
entire bleacher to our right.
Young lady, I didn't get her name, but she was out there twirling a baton twirler. She was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
The pride in there.
Here's a low snap. Strickland going to fall on it.
Yep.
That one down around his ankles. Nothing much the backup quarterback could do there, and he looks frustrated. as he picks himself up at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he's having some problems on the center exchange here.
Second down and 18.
Yeah, just a couple of bad snaps. The low snap led to the blocked field goal. Under center is, at the moment, Jared Devine, the senior. That's a good snap. Strickland going to roll to his right on second and long. Going to throw back over the middle. It is complete. Up at about the 26, 27, close to the original line of scrimmage.
You were asking earlier what Coach Huff has to do. This is what he has to do. Move the sticks, keep it out of Londonderry's hand, and stop this score from getting more out of hand.
Will Sasso with his second grab.
Gain of 6 on
You give yourself a shot here. It's now 3rd and 12. Already 3 minutes into the second half. Grizz going to spread it out. 4 receivers, 3 to the strong side, near side left with Picard in the backfield. Strickland fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Met by Babine in the backfield, and Babine drives him backwards. Had some help
Number 80,
on the gang tackle.
On
Strickland going to lose yards there. Lost about a yard with the forward progress. It'll be 4th and 13, and another punt on the way for the Grizzlies.
Didn't really want to have to punt here. You want to at least get a first down. I don't know about you, Nick, but you started shaking your shoulders like a wing. I'm as cold as you are.
Yeah, it has gotten very cold. We are, of course, perched up high here, about 4 stories above the field.
And the wind is sweeping.
That's right. Sign of things to come, unfortunately. For the remainder of the season, it's going to continue to get cold.
Yes, it is.
Picard's punt, that's a good one.
Good
Sky
punt.
high. Back a little bit, Wiedenfeld had to readjust. Crosses the 40 and is tackled at about the 44-yard line after a gain of 4. Good coverage there by Jeff Heeger on the stop, his second tackle tonight. So Londonderry back on. Good starting field position. Their own 45, nursing a 42-0 lead. As that clock continues to tick, coming up on 5 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
1-7-4-4.
Field looks to be in excellent shape this time of year. I've come to Londonderry before, and this time of year it's usually pretty banged up, but it looks fantastic right now.
Yeah, a little chewed maybe in the middle between the hashes, but as you said, week 7, that grass field holding up pretty well, and nice to see a grass field.
It is.
In the day and age where it's more and more schools have gone to the field turf. Londonderry keeping it old school as McEachern fakes the toss, keeps it himself on 1st and 10.
Nice run.
And somehow able to sniff out about 10 yards and a first down. Into Goffstown territory, very close to that first down marker at the Grizz 45, and he's got it. Again, this is Dylan McEachern, not Jake.
Yep.
Jake's night appears to be done after he put his team in position. Pretty good position, 35-0 at half. Pistols formation, 3 receivers, a tight end near side as well. Handoff to KO is fumbled. Looked like McEachern got back on it, and then a late flag flies after the tackle.
Flag thrown.
Clock running straight now.
Yep. Now they will stop it.
I don't understand.
Just over 6 minutes to go. I think maybe on penalties it
Oh,
stops.
Was there a penalty there? Oh, there
Yep.
you go. I'm sorry. It looks
Yep.
like a chop block.
Yep, a
maybe?
chop block here against Londonderry. It will be a personal foul. First penalty of the second half either way. That brings Coach Lozon back onto the field from the near sideline. He's been hot tonight working the officials.
Yeah, he has, and they keep on giving him the sweep signal to get off to the under the sidelines.
Well, at one point in the first half, he had to be yanked back by the belt by one of his assistants.
Penalty brings up first down for the Lancers from the 39-yard line.
That's a big penalty, though, Steve. A 15-yarder makes it 1st and 25.
Yep.
It actually occurred a yard in the backfield, so 1st and 26.
Ref was right there and right on it, so he saw it. There's no question that it must have happened, because they don't call that unless they see it.
Clock resumes past the midway point, third quarter.
Nice fake.
Yep, quarterback keep, left side. Dylan going to find his way up towards midfield. Good run there by Dylan McEachern.
Just a great fake there.
Yep. A lot of misdirection, really a big part of both these teams' offensive game plans. Again, if you're just joining us, Goffstown, they lost their starter, Jarrett Hinault.
Playing well.
Suffered an apparent shoulder injury. Yeah, he was moving the football when asked, and he got hurt and has not returned. Strickland looked like got shaken up towards the end of the half as well, but he is back in control at the quarterback spot. Early flag here on a jet sweep. Big
nice tackle. Who was that? 32
territory. That was Matt Jones, the ball carrier.
Boy.
The tackler was Wilton Geisenheiner.
Nice tackle. Stayed
This
square.
This one's coming back, though. Another hold.
Oh, boy.
And that one came early on the run. Official threw it with some conviction. Coach Lozon lowers his head. He's not pleased.
Penalties, huh?
Both ways in that first half, as you mentioned. Didn't see the numbers, but it appeared like we were on our way to a 100-yard combined penalty total.
Yep, it's got to be.
Illegal procedure called against the Lancers.
Well, this is actually not a hold. I spoke too early. Illegal procedure. Either way, it's against Londonderry. And for the moment is going to freeze that clock with 5:10 to go in the third quarter. Now it will resume to tick. Still 42-0 Londonderry.
22 for the Lancers.
Wing back near side. Two receivers set. Tight end near side as well. The give to KO, and he's going to be buried at the line of scrimmage.
Not
Jumping on his back
52
was Matt Dalton. He's been one of the standouts defensively for the Grizzlies.
Defensive end.
Yep. Stayed home there and got himself a big stop. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 18 coming inside of 5 minutes, third quarter. And now, Steve, neither team really in a hurry. We saw Goffstown take their time on offense in an effort to aid their defense. And now I think Londonderry, in an effort to wrap this one up, going to take all the time they can between snaps as well. Man in motion is Jones. McEachern keeps it, sheds 1, sheds 2, but can't shed 3 as he's knocked backwards. Big stop by the big D lineman for Goffstown, George Pierce. Loss of 1, 3rd and 19 becomes 4th down and 20.
Well, when you look on the field, I mean, the Goffstown, the age of the Goffstown players is probably much more commensurate with what's out in the field now for Londonderry. Goffstown's very, very young. You look at it, it's just all sophomore.
Ton of sophomores on the roster. A lot of juniors as well. You really got to go down to find a senior.
Yep, you do.
Number 14.
This one high. And that one dangerously close to hitting the Goffstown return man.
Yeah,
instead, it's down by Londonderry inside the 25.
They're not supposed to impede the opportunity for the kick return, the punt returner. And it looked to me like there could have been a call there. They didn't. But he did not have a lane to go up and catch it. You can't do that. So
well, you got to stay away then.
Got to stay. Yeah. So if you can't, you just got to stay away.
That was Robert Schaefer, the return man. The sophomore did dodge a bullet, so to speak.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And steered clear to the punt. So, Goffstown at their own 24 as the wind continues to pick up. We march towards 3 minutes here in this third quarter. Grizzlies trying to mount something, Steve, trying to avoid the fate that Bedford suffered a week ago, and that's getting shut out.
Yeah, 2 weeks 2 weeks now and running.
Picard sandwiched at the line of scrimmage, trying to stretch that play to the outside. There. Yep, nowhere to go. Standing at the edge was Robbie Durhak, one of the backup linebackers for Londonderry, getting a pretty good stop there.
I got to turn the heat up, Nick, when I get home. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm not waiting till I get home. I'm waiting till I get in the car.
Yeah, there too. I'll have it cranking. Unthaw this ice cube.
Yeah. Send a coal down early to warm it up.
Yep.
Strickland going to throw.
He's got him. He's got
time. It's down the middle. It's dropped incomplete.
Yeah.
Trying to hook up there.
Londonderry caught a little off guard there in the defensive
secondary
passing lanes.
Yeah.
There was 3 guys that had quite a bit of separation.
Jonathan Lopez was the target. Fortunately for Lopez, his second drop comes in front of 2 converging safeties. So tough one for Lopez there. And now we've got a 3rd and 10 from the Goffstown 24-yard line. Strickland in the shotgun. Going to hand off to Picard near side. Running room across the 30.
I think he's got it.
Very close.
Yeah, they give him a good spot, so I think he's going to get it. Yep, they're moving the sticks.
Yep, needed the 34, and they'll spot it just shy of the 35. So a first down with a minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Picard, another one, Steve, who has held his own as the primary ball carrier for Goffstown.
Got some good players, Goffstown. They just got to get a year older. They're getting I mean, one of the things that Coach Huff, I think he mentioned in an interview, was that his guys are getting a lot of experience at a very young age. And as they get into upperclassmen, that's going to make a huge difference against the competition that they're going to face.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's certainly no problem with the coaching here. They're outstanding coaching staff.
They're going to sweep it. Far side, looking for the sideline. He's got it. It's across the 40, and he's all the way up to, the 44, which is where he was looking to get. May have been another first down.
Coach Lozon with class as usual, doing the right thing, getting his 2s and 3s in there, and getting the benefit of getting those guys some playing time as well. And
that was Mpoyo on the cover, on the carry,
things appear
by
much
the way.
more even now, out on the field.
Well, you want to protect your own guys, too.
Bet you do.
Second down and 4.
Nothing really to gain by leaving the starters in.
This kid runs with a vengeance
Mpoyo,
here.
yeah.
Wow.
Very slithery there on
Uzi Poyo.
the second down carry.
Wrapping that ball well and turning upfield and leg drive, good lean, first down.
And that may be the final play
I think it is.
of this third quarter. So, Londonderry returns the opening kick of the second half all the way to the 7-yard line. And it took just one play to punch it in from there to make it 42-0. And with a running clock, that is where we are after 3 quarters. Londonderry 42 and Goffstown nothing. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency. Locations now in both Londonderry and Bedford. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 today or visit BealsInsurance.com. Well, again, this one started in Londonderry's favor from the get-go. A 14-0 lead after the first. Their offense marched down the field twice and punched it in. Setzelis a 35-yard touchdown reception and about a 25-yard touchdown by Jeff Wiedenfeld, part of his 74 rushing yards in that first quarter. And then a block field goal, another Wiedenfeld touchdown on offense, and a Wiedenfeld fumble return for a touchdown. Made it 35-0 at half. Meanwhile, as the fourth quarter begins, this is Jonathan Lopez, and Lopez is in for a Goffstown touchdown.
It's a Goffstown touchdown.
Well, Lopez got the ball and just took off down the sideline,
from number 80, Peyton Strickland,
giving the Londonderry sideline something to cheer about. Just 15 seconds into this fourth quarter, and Londonderry is on the board. It's now 42-6. That'll quiet the Londonderry student section for at least a moment. Extra point try from the left-footed kicker Kyle Pinard is up and good. It sneaks in the right upright. So 42-7, that is the first points allowed since week number 5 by this Londonderry defense. Of course, last week they shut out Bedford and shut out Goffstown through the first 3+ quarters tonight. But again, a breakaway play by Jonathan Lopez, the sophomore, gives Goffstown a touchdown tonight. So it's 42-7. Clock, I believe, is momentarily stopped. The 35-point rule should still be in effect. The running clock rule, I believe, will resume once the offense comes back onto the field here. We presume it'll be Londonderry as they await the kick. And you see Wiedenfeld going off the field. Number 12 in blue enjoying a little back and forth a moment ago with a group of youngsters, kind of pointing at them in the crowd. And the kids couldn't be any more than 5, maybe 6 years old, loving it. Watching the big boys play, and Wiedenfeld in particular, one of the best in the business. His night pretty much over at this point. All right, Goffstown will kick as Pinard swings the left leg. This one will send the return man back to the 10-yard line. He'll trot up to the 20, trying to stiff arm his way out of trouble at the 25 and driven backwards. That was Raza on the return. Good coverage again by Wilton Geisenhainer, who comes up with his second tackle. And yes, indeed, the clock will tick as we move towards 1 minute gone by here in this fourth quarter. Still 42-7 Londonderry.
Good to get that goose egg off the board for the young fellas going into next week. Put together a nice drive there.
Yeah. Explosive play.
It was.
And again, you can tell that this group is going to be something to be reckoned with.
Definitely.
Not just next year, but really for the next 2 years, should they remain intact. And
well, this crew all the way up through youth football was outstanding.
Yep.
And fared very well against the competition.
And we know, of course, about the culture in Goffstown. Coach Huff brought the town a state championship in 2015.
Yep. One of the most difficult venues, I think, to go away and play at, Nick. I don't know about you, but I think Goffstown hometown fans and, all the cute music they play when your offense is on the field.
Right.
And they just, it's a very intimidating place to play. They do a great job, with
the atmosphere,
and all that.
Yep.
You feel it every Saturday when they play there.
Well, just the sheer numbers. The town turns out, and
it does.
It's
really
not
does.
always the case with some of these other schools, but a good turnout tonight.
Yes, it is.
We showed you a shot of the band earlier. The student section is off to our left. They're still here. They're still on their feet. A lot of youngsters are around the perimeter as well, playing catch and, well, unfortunately buried in their iPhones more often than not, but they're here at least.
That's not going to change tomorrow.
First down out of the timeout. McEachern, good keeper. This kid's got some speed of his own. It's Dylan McEachern to midfield. Trying to cut his way back to the middle. He's across the 40 and down to the 35 before he's finally tackled from behind.
Well, there's a demonstration, folks, of how to follow your blocks.
Yeah.
Very nifty running right there. Waits has that sixth sense, that intangible capability of reading and waiting for the block to develop just the right time and then sidestepping and accelerating. A good-looking ball player, Nick.
Finally hauled down by Tyler Denton. But not before another big gain for Londonderry. We've seen that tonight. Big play after big play. This one comes with 2 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. In Grizz territory at the 35 against a three-man front. Pistol formation, man in motion. Snap taking, handoff.
Nice
Raza left side, crawls inside the 30, spins at the 25, still on his feet. And now a whistle will blow it dead. At about the 25-yard line, was wrestling there with the Grizzlies. Jacob Smith, the senior.
32. Who's 32?
It's good
for Londonderry?
Yeah.
First down.
That is Hayden Austin.
Did a nice job on a lead block there for his runner and followed it well and got a nice gain there.
Yeah, Austin, one of the backs. Still on the field there with McEachern. He's got his hands on his hips.
Great experience for these young fellas.
First and 10. They'll give it to him. No, McEachern, another fake. Somehow survives that tackle attempt. Broke one inside the 15 to the 14. He is
quick.
The McEachern brothers doing their thing. Saw Jake earlier. Seeing Dylan here in this second half. Both impressive tonight.
Yep. I don't see any sign of Hinault anywhere, Nick. I think he's gone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Have you seen his number?
No, Jared Hinault injured in the second quarter. Goffstown starting quarterback, and we have not spotted him on the sideline since. Stretch play near side, looking for a block inside the 10, knocked out of bounds.
Boy, these kids love to block on the Lancers, Nick. They are aggressive blockers. They get the proper angles. They've got excellent form. Been extremely well trained, and you can tell they enjoy doing it.
That was Jesse Morin, 5'8", tailback, getting his first carry of the night.
McKecken looks impressive, Nick. I got wow.
Yeah.
Love the way he plays.
Yeah.
And that's something that Coach Lozano is very good. You can tell the backup players are well trained, and they're ready to come in and take off with the.
It's a program.
Yeah, it's a program. Well said.
And that next man up philosophy.
Yep.
Certainly can come in handy, especially late in the season. Man in motion, the give. It's a jet sweep. Jay Hayes is in the end zone for a Londonderry touchdown. First carry tonight for Hayes, and he celebrates like a man on the dance floor.
Nice drive by McKecken. Outstanding drive by McKecken. Like to see that. These guys have an opportunity. They work hard all week. A lot of times on the scout teams, and they get an opportunity to come in and show their stuff. And
yeah, you work hard not just all week, but all season, all summer. And to get a reward like that, unforgettable. Meanwhile, this one missed. Fawcett had been 6 for 6 up until that miss. May have been partially tipped, Steve. It didn't look like it had much underneath it. Either way, it's no good. The score remains 48-7.
Well, looks like the windstorm certainly kept you busy today, Nick, right? Yeah, Nick and yesterday, right?
Yeah, to say the least.
Over in Manchester there, and it looks to me like took a good hunk of them off. We had some wonderful color before that storm. Looks to me like a lot of these trees took a pretty good hit as far as the leaves
That's all right.
Leaves that are left.
It means less tourists.
What's that?
Less tourists to deal with.
I got to tell you, I
know it's good for the state economy, but it's not good for the traffic.
Nick giving grumpy middle-aged men a whole new name.
That's right.
But honestly, I was coming down 93, going back and forth between the two offices, and the amount of tour buses, 2 double-deckers, Nick.
Yep.
I mean, these things are beautiful.
Yep.
$1 million buses just
in
droves. Yeah, leaf peepers.
Clock stop for the moment. 7 minutes and change to go.
Londonderry band not giving up by any means. They're still doing it.
They are. Drummers banging the drums. Kick. Can take a couple of bounces. Ooh. Fielded at the 30. Driven backwards again. That's Sasso. Good sportsmanship after the stop by Reyes.
If this is any indication of Londonderry's future players over the next 2 or 3 years, I'd say
they're going to be fine.
They're going to be just fine, to say the least.
Well, they've got the numbers. We know that. Always bring one of the deeper benches with them, and they've had success at the JV level, the freshman level.
Yep.
And of course, Coach Lozon oversees it all, and he knows what he's got. I'm sure he knows exactly what he's got coming up the pipeline.
No doubt.
Some Ghostbusters. Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah.
Being played from the Londonderry Band. That's why I love the Londonderry Band. Meanwhile, look at this. Here comes Empoyo. First down and more.
He looks good.
Down the far sideline, inside the 40.
Nice run there. Good job again following his blocks.
Seen Empoyo handle it a few times in the second half. He's made an impact all year on special teams.
Yep. Nice looking
that
player.
One, perhaps one of his best runs of the season. It goes for 25 and a first down. Midway through the fourth quarter, Londonderry trying to get a stop. Goffstown hoping to get another score on the board. Strickland hands to Empoyo. Stretch play, breaks a tackle, turns downfield. He fights his way inside the 35.
I like watching him run.
Made a couple of guys miss before finally being tackled down at the 34.
Somebody had him by the back of the shirt and he busted loose.
Yeah. In the end, it was Johnny McKinnon Who ended up with the tackle,
Play
yeah.
by number 16, Dylan McEachern.
Dylan McEachern, the
5 on the play,
active
second
quarterback for
down,
Londonderry,
5.
in on the defensive stop as well. He's at one of the corners. Meanwhile, Strickland looking over at Coach Huff, gives the play to the O-line. He's ready to cook with Empoyo on his left. 3 receivers, strong side left as well. It's a run play. It's a quarterback keeper. Strickland trying to use that big frame to his advantage. Fights his way down
short,
to the 30.
I think.
Hit initially by Londonderry's defensive lineman Merrick Michno.
On the run was number 80.
He gets credit for the stop as we move inside of 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Well, again, Londonderry is led throughout. 14-0 after 1, had a 35-0 lead on the board at halftime. Stretched that to 42-0 to begin this fourth quarter.
He's got a first down there.
The two teams have exchanged scores, touchdowns in this fourth quarter. Londonderry on their way to 7-0. Remember, they went 8-1 last year for suffering a first-round defeat against crosstown rival Pinkerton.
Yeah, that was, but came back this year and pretty much took care of business against Pinkerton. And you haven't got that score tonight, have you? They play tomorrow, right? Pinkerton plays tomorrow, I think.
We'll check after the game.
Yeah.
One final rundown, perhaps, of Twitter, although a lot of blowouts tonight. Merrimack was winning big. Exeter even bigger.
Yeah, even bigger.
Over Portsmouth and Dover, respectively.
I think there's quite a few Saturday games tomorrow.
The big gem,
D1.
the big gem, of course, is Bedford and Salem, down south of the border in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
I'll be driving from Baltimore down to Lynchburg, down to Liberty University, and I will be listening into that game for sure. Can get it. You should be able to stream that, I think. Not stream it video, but you should be able to get the audio.
3.5 to go. Shotgun snap. Mishandled initially. Strickland trying to recover to his right, and he's going to lose some yardage.
Yeah, that was all in the snap there. That was up
McEachern
high.
spearheading the stop for Londonderry. So a 2nd and 9 results in a 2-yard loss, and now a 3rd and 11 on the way as we hit the 3-minute mark here in regulation.
I think it's fair to say, Nick, that there's no doubt on the power play who's number one. I would say
That's been settled.
Now, would you say that tomorrow is about number 2, or do you think you got to leave Exeter in the mix as well?
No, North.
And North, yeah, absolutely.
I think you got to go North at 2 because of the undefeated record.
Yep.
They're in Keene tonight. Should have no trouble with the Blackbirds. This one is incomplete. Jump ball thrown up at the goal line.
Yeah, so
The receiver there was Wesley Mitchell, and in on the deflection was Lorenzo Inglesi.
You're right. There's really no 2 is going to be defined this week. It's just going to be narrowed down, I would say, depending on the score of Bedford. And any predictions on that, or who would you give the edge going in?
I'm a play-by-play announcer. I don't do predictions. Not on the air. That's the analyst job. I will say, though, that you're probably dealing with 2 of the top 5 teams, I would say.
No doubt.
Easy to say tomorrow between Bedford and Salem.
Yep, no doubt.
Strickland rolling, still rolling, throws an interception. Picked off at the 25, returning it up the far sideline across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Should have just
Goes
turned
somebody
upfield.
there for Londonderry.
Somebody's down hurt from
I
Goffstown.
didn't see the number.
Play was an interception for the Lancers by number 56, Nick
But
Walton.
by the time this thing gets together, this may be a run out. We're down inside 128.
Nick Walter.
Nick Walter, yeah.
How about the D lineman with the interception?
First
Yeah.
down and 10
Walter's
for
still
Londonderry.
celebrating. Last man over
They don't
the
want to give up
sideline.
the ball when they get an interception.
No, Walter all smiles, and now he's going to go right back out onto the field as a part of the offense. As that clock continues to tick, we're heading towards 1 minute. So Goffstown, they're going to slip to 5-2, Steve, and it's still pretty good position.
Yeah.
In the D1 North.
They got to bounce back. They got to get their quarterback back. Hopefully he's not injured too. Penalt's not injured too badly.
They got Salem next week, and that's obviously a tough slate, especially without, if they do have to play without their starting quarterback, Jarrett Hunault. 40 seconds. Londonderry going to take a knee. I think one more snap, right?
That should do it.
Yep.
That should do it.
Lancers
want to
Well-
thank Howard Sobolov and his crew here
Yes.
for going out of his way to set us up roof side, so to speak, rooftop, on the rooftop here at the Londonderry Press Box, the Sawyer Nest, of course named after longtime Londonderry head coach Tom Sawyer. And
I just had lunch with a player that used to earlier in the week. Used to play with him, play for him.
yeah,
And boy, did he speak great things about
household name in this
Coach
town, for
Sawyer.
sure.
And
We want to thank Howard and his crew and everyone else involved with the setup here in Londonderry, a very great place to catch you in a game on a Friday night. That's it, 48-7 the final. As Londonderry handles business, they're 7-0. Goffstown suffers just their second defeat of the season to fall to 5-2. And well, this one was over really shortly after it started, Steve. Another big night for Jeff Wiedenfeld, 3 total touchdowns, one of those coming on defense. Alex Setzelis looked good as well. And right now, Steve, there's got to be a lot of teams worried in D1. Nobody has even come close
no, I think
to knocking off
I
this
think you
Londonderry
have
team.
Londonderry, and then as you said earlier, you got about 4 or 5 teams that really got to sort it out. Without injuries on Londonderry, boy, they look awful hard to be able to play 4 quarters evenly or better against everything going well. This program is in high gear, and we'll see what happens. But I just don't see anybody knocking off Londonderry, at least in the regular season. And they're going to have home field advantage, until throughout the playoffs if they can keep in their winning ways. And I don't see anything slowing down. As far as Goffstown is concerned, it's all about Henall. They got to have one thing about Londonderry I want to go back to. Yes, their skilled players do a great job, but these supporting blockers on this offensive scheme are just outstanding. They're aggressive. They're downfield. They're angling. They're driving every defense. I mean, they just have taken 2 good programs and set them back on their heels pretty handily. And
Putting the entire division on notice right now.
Without a doubt, that's pretty much it. Yep. So,
well, tune in Monday for FNL Rewind. It's presented by Beals Insurance. It's brought to you, of course, from the Beals Insurance Studios in Bedford. We will have, I assume, Tom King of the Nashua Telegraph on to check in with him and
always a great guest.
Try and get a hold of perhaps Coach Huft as well following this defeat. Maybe a little tough for him, but I'm sure he's proud of his guys. A young group coming out here and battling the way they did tonight.
They're going to be fine. They got some. Yep. Goffstown didn't back off. They're just young, and Coach Huft's got a good group coming up. It's only going to get better for Goffstown as time goes on.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yep. And they're still pretty good shape this year as well at 5-2.
We hope you're enjoying this equipment. We've really trying to work to
I sure am.
bring you guys. I know Nick really loves the new switcher that we have, and kind of an all-in-one component. And we've got a lot of compliments on the quality of the picture and so on and so forth. So we really appreciate that. We want to bring games, quality game to you every single week. And just tune in to us on YouTube, FNL&H Media. And it'll come up number 1, and you'll be able to tune in and subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That way, you can get all the content notifications to you. So,
yep, we're all over social media. Still on Facebook as well, Facebook.com/FNLNH, and on Twitter as well at FNLNH1. For Nikki C., our director of photography, my partner Steve Beals, I'm Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time: Londonderry 48. Goffstown 7.